Welcome. My name's Brian Knight and I live in Melbourne, Australia, and it's just after 5 o'clock, or it's around 5 o'clock in the morning here on a Friday. For me, it's sort of the last 24 hours or so, or a little bit more than 24 hours anyway, of the trading week. So, welcome, Darren, then. So, let's just share this very quickly.
Right.
So welcome to this live FOREX analysis session. Just note that any trades discussed in this group are to be classed purely as educational only, and that's because we're a group of people helping each other and we're not financial advisors. There is a full risk disclosure there and a little bit about us as live session traders. So let's just stop sharing that and we'll go across. Things have, yeah, so that sort of Tuesday, Wednesday, it's moved things a little bit back the other way. So yeah, AD no news in the CAD did lower their interest rate. Now to tell you what, there's a flurry of news reports here about potentially the middle or 18th, I think it is, of February, that we're going to have a rate cut, and it's like I don't know. I think they'll be disappointed, but anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll see what Trading News says. Might give us some indication.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, a bit of a pullback up again. Um, last 24 hours, it looks, but that doesn't mean that it's we're going back up. So, how are your thoughts yesterday, Darren? Did any of the discussion provoke?
Yeah. I'm still pondering it really. So, obviously the current experience I'm having at the minute with a few trades suggests it would definitely be a good idea to, do something along the lines of this, splitting the trade and having a TP1 at, that midpoint between the center and top line. So I'm certainly thinking about that. AUDJPY got stopped out on that today, so that was
Oh,
that would have been. I think that would have with a TP1 and 2 rule. Then I think that would have that
yeah,
would have worked instead of taking a not a complete 1% loss, but sort of taking a loss on it. And yeah, so that's an example that
hmm,
would have benefited
hmm.
from
Are you saying one
that.
single trade with a TP1 and 2 rather
Well,
than?
no, two positions, sort of
Yeah, yeah.
splitting my risk to two positions.
Okay, and one having a three-quarter TP
Yeah,
and the other one
one
then
going all the way.
once,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, once it moves up though, moving that to break even at
yeah,
least.
yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I
right.
could even. I've also been thinking of maybe perhaps to compensate for the um, taking some of the profit out early. Maybe stretching my that second position a bit further. So instead of coming out at the top of the rail straight away, potentially pushing that further, to compensate. So it might be that
Oh, right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
because they very often they smash through that top of the rail and keep going, don't they? Beyond that. So
Right. Okay. So
so thinking it's
in,
perhaps staying on the bus a bit longer with the second position.
yeah.
So it might be that we wait till we get for example,
So let's just think. So
if it was a buy, then wait for a red triangle, on the for example on the second position possibly, or or wait for it, just wait for it to turn and
I got you. Okay. So
yeah,
let's think about it from, say, this, maybe this trade here. I mean, you may not, you may have done from there. Anyway, but let's just think there. So if you have one trade, a long position, you get that long, it pull back a bit. Somewhere you get in about here. You have a stop loss down at the low, and you have this around which would be around that sort of 3/4. That's the sort of just an example. There's one trade, yeah, and
Yeah.
you would put on a second at the same time.
Yeah.
That would be either the rail or see when it comes back down. It's base. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. See,
No,
in
when
that
you get
case,
that,
yeah.
you basically have this pushing up to about there. So that's the second trade.
Yeah. It's just how to capture that extra push, which they very often do.
But
Mm,
if you have a situation, let's have this one as a situation though. For example, let's think about this one here. Oh, what am I doing? Hang on. Just pull it back across. So let's think about this one here. So if, for example, you have, oh, it depends on where you're going to put your stop loss on that one. Would you put it down the bottom of that wick? Normally, you would, wouldn't you? Down there.
yeah.
And your entry would be ooh, somewhere around maybe there. That's one trade. Okay.
Yeah.
And your second trade would be exactly the same start, but basically what happens is you would move your stop loss up to break even there.
Yeah.
Once this goes up to say midline or something, which is there, once it comes up to midline, you'd move your stop loss up to break even. Basically, I can't put it quite there, but
I think I think I'd
and
wait
then
for
if
it.
it then sorry.
I think I'd wait for it to hit reach the 3/4 line, 3/4 mark before moving the stop loss to break even. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's fine. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
When that one
Yeah.
actually profits out,
Rather,
or when
yeah.
it
Yeah.
makes it to there, because it would actually profit, because the first one you would have it at the 3/4,
Yeah.
and then once it basically profits out, you would move your stop loss to break
Yes.
even. So
On
if
the
it
other one.
comes
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
to there, you basically have a risk-free trade.
Yeah. And in
It's sort of
that case, it would have come back and
and stopped you out, or
take
or,
it out.
or, or, or just stop the trade without any loss.
Yeah.
And then if it did, you're in a situation to get into a trade again,
Yeah.
which is the example we just did before that.
It's how to. I was thinking is how could I manage that second position so we squeeze a bit more profit out of it. So it hits the top of the rail. Do I instead of having a TP at the top of the rail, do I then just have sort of then I just sort of do just move the stop loss right up and trail it and see how
Oh,
far
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
goes, for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
example. Yeah, you know, just to
Because you could still profit some out of that, couldn't you?
um,
Yeah, but how far would you trail it? Like, is it 50 pips, 100 pips behind it? What's the, because it'd be a number, I would say, rather than
well that just turned, and that's probably not what I'm thinking is when it hits the top of the rail. That's what I'm thinking, rather than having an automatic TP at the top of the rail on the second
oh,
position.
second trade. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, on
Yeah,
the second
in
trade.
in this
How
situation,
do
yeah.
I maybe do I try and stay on the bus a bit longer and get more profit out of it? Because that's quite a bit of extra profit, and they you know
From there up, yeah.
Yeah, very often they do.
See, and I think it's 113. And I think also, well, if you add it on to the original, and I think you're right, once you get a triangle, for example, that's maybe your key to profiting the trade out.
Yeah. I mean, it's not unusual for the rails
To,
to then sort
to
of push up and he just
yeah, and to keep
keeps
going.
going
But
and
you
going
have to
on.
have some rule though,
Oh, you
don't
do,
you,
yeah.
really,
Yeah.
Darren? So I mean, let's look at it from a JPY perspective right now. Let's have a look and see what would this have done. It's a bit of a mess, really, isn't it? So
Yeah. I don't think this ever really
this wouldn't have really
no,
not
this never
saved, but
really
it
got
wouldn't.
going. It never really got going, this one. It just
Yeah.
got it. So that's probably not probably
Well, I'm
doesn't
just
help
trying to
much.
I'm just trying to back test how things would, and not everything's going to be a win on it anyway. But you would have got in on that long, didn't you?
Yeah. So it's just failed to really get going, that one. So I think I just have to just sort of forget
Take your
that.
loss, take
Uh,
your loss and run away.
there was that USD CAD I was in that time, and I was worried about it turning on me. If you remember, it was a few pips off the top, so it got out.
Yeah.
And in the end, it just kept going and going and going.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So it was probably down. Was it down in October down there somewhere?
Yeah, it was. It was around here sometime, and then it did jump up to yeah, it was here, the October.
So that could have been
Mm,
an example of where position one closed at the 3/4 mark, stayed in position two,
yeah.
just let it
But
ride
but
until
here,
eventually
but
get the
here
red
you
triangle.
yeah, Darren, here though, at this point or any of these points, you could have had a red triangle and it
Put it up,
disappear
yeah.
on it could have had and it disappear and you could have got out and then it would have continued on. So that's another example of that you don't really know.
No.
Um, and then it's just been doing this rubbish, since the inauguration, basically. Hmm. Okay.
Or
Well, we just got to.
do I just I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? Do I just keep moving the stop loss, in we get the pullbacks, we get another long, we move the stop loss. Do we just keep doing that and just keep doing it? You go back to that USD card,
Oh, hang on. Let's have a look at
you
it. Go
know,
back to it. Yeah.
just then. So we position one, so half the trade. I've closed that. Thank you very much.
You
The
had it from
3/4 mark,
there up to 3/4, bang, yeah.
somewhere
Or
around
it could
there. Yeah,
even have been at that.
yeah, yeah.
Could
Then
even be where that spiked up there
we move stop loss to break even on the other position. We then get a pullback, another long, and off it goes again. So we move the stop loss under
to
there.
there. Yeah.
Then we get another pullback, and then another long, and off it goes again.
And then you had a triangle if you didn't
And then
get
we
any
just,
there.
yeah, but not right, don't worry too much about the triangles. Just keep doing that. And then eventually,
Yeah,
well,
but but that means though, from the middle of December, you'd still be in a trade.
yeah, yeah, it's still,
Uh
yeah. But yeah, at some point you have to get out of it. Yeah.
correct. Well, because this here is in actual fact wasted time in that trade and potentially a spike back down again, where you would lose whatever if you have for example, if the stop loss is here and you don't take it when you get that triangle, take the profit out, all it's going to do is just jump around up and down for whatever. I mean, it could push further up, but I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
a bit of a weird example because this is the sort of the normal pattern. This was crazy. This was sort of like election to, you know, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, there are lots of examples for you to do things one way or other, but I think then that you need to mechanically have.
I mean, do we simply wait for a candle body to close above the top rail and say, there we go, let's get out of that point, rather than just you know just a wick hitting TP and you know that that might bear in mind that this is a risk. This position is now a risk-free position that we're managing.
Yeah. If you had a trade here or two trades here,
Yeah,
then the first one would have profited, say there or there, wherever,
yeah,
and the second one is still going.
yeah. But
But
it's
do
finally
you,
outside the rail properly there around that
yeah,
point.
but do
It's
you
not,
want to be in the white noise? That's the,
yeah, but you get out to that point. It's broken through the top of the rail, well and truly. No, it's getting a
yeah.
bit subjective now, I suppose.
Mm.
Um,
I,
instead of
I think your idea of having a triangle on the second one, if you do, if this is the situation for you, for me, that's a get out of the trade, either at that or that. So you're basically still having your profit from there all the way up. And yes, you might have moved your stop loss there and you might have moved it to there, but you're waiting for it to come out of the rail. Once you see it out of the rail, or you could still do it at rail. But it depends. This railing could have just moved up. You could have come out a couple of times here and not like you don't know where that is historically. Anyway, okay, let's go because these are just examples we need to look at and see, well, how does that, you have to be comfortable. And what you're trying to do is gain the maximum amount of profit out of it, really, or to have an
yeah,
option rather than one trade, have two that you can actually
yeah,
play with. And
yeah.
then, for example, at AUD JPY, that would never be anything that it doesn't matter what strategy you're doing with it or what. Um,
That's just failed to deliver that one. That's a
correct, correct.
I mean Euro JPY. That's a better example because that's that pushed further into profit. But
Yeah. But, like, for example, here, if you were just talking AJ, like, that's rubbish. But if you're talking from here and you get a short there, you got into the trade, you got out at 3/4, you'd have the other trade, and as soon as it came and it gave you a triangle, you'd be out of the second one. I think the triangle is a good example because that could have the next day sucked up. But anyway,
yeah, you could be giving away quite a bit of profit there, waiting for that triangle, couldn't you? I think these triangles,
well, here, you get it's come out of the rail here, you get a triangle, and it really
yeah,
didn't go a lot further. And
yeah,
then
you're
back it
okay
went
with
the
that
other
one.
way.
That's yeah,
And here as well, like it pulled back and it sort of never came back to the rail. Or you got what we got here example. Well, that's well out of the rail, well out there, and then you get a triangle.
yeah,
So if
that's
you
true.
if you're
Yeah.
in it from that long, you would have got out there, but then so you wouldn't have got back in here because it wouldn't have come far enough out. You wouldn't have had an entry outside the rail to actually get in there. Yeah,
Then
just
look at that sell off. Look how far that
yeah. I know
smashed through
down
the
here.
rail and went all the way down there.
Yeah, but then where is it? Yeah.
You
So
can't predict that, can you really? But
no, but you've got one green one there, which you would have if you were in the trade.
could have got
Say you're
out.
in the trade
Yeah.
from that short there and down, you probably would have been out there. and then
Yeah.
it still went down further. So you can't get everything that's the extension of, but yeah, anyway. Okay. Because there's just different market situations. Anyway, AUDCHF, let's just go through some of it. Really not any situation here on that one. AUD-JPY looked at, AUD-NZD. Oh, look at them. Like they've all done this and then they've pulled back. So that's in the middle. We're not looking at that one either. AUD Singapore. Where are we now? Okay. Go a long and a short on that one. Here's a good example. I mean, if you're in the short there, or even in a short, you wouldn't have probably got into that one. But that, I don't know, you might not have even been in this one. Yeah, they're all a bit iffy. It depends on how the rail is, whether that actually came outside the rail. You'd be in the short, you'd make that roughly 3/4, and then it would push back up again.
I think the easiest thing is to just use the top of the rail or the bottom of the rail as the TP. Maybe trying to overcomplicate it now. Just,
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I like your idea of a triangle, but anyway, we'll see. AUD-USD. All right. You're in that long that pushed up back. It didn't quite make 3/4 there, did it?
no, no. So I'm in that one, still in it.
Mm.
I made 3/4. It's yeah. It
But
could just
having
pull back into
having two
ten.
trades of 0.5% or having two trades of 1%, it just depends on
Mm.
how you want to play it, isn't it? So yeah, so you're still in this one, and it's
Yeah.
okay, no worries. Well, we'll see. And your stop loss is down here.
Yeah.
You haven't moved it there because of that long, but that long is the one that initiated you to get in the trade. It's back at, is it back at break even or somewhere around there, or a little bit
No,
negative?
it's in a bit of drawdown now.
Okay. Rightio. CAD CHF. No, rubbish. Ah, CAD JPY. Now this is one, again, you would have been, no, that's not a trade at the moment. Or you wouldn't have been in this one anyway, except for
No,
there.
no.
All right, CAD CHF. Oh, CHF JPY. Wow.
Well, there's a good one that hit the 3/4 point, and it's
Yeah.
been heading down pretty much ever since.
Mm-hmm.
So
So in that second trade, you would have that, you'd have
yeah,
two that would start out here with an entry up here. Look at that. You'd get one trade there pretty quick after a week or so. You'd get one. And the next one, what you would do is you would move that
yeah.
up,
Well,
to,
I'd be out of the second trade by now, wouldn't I? I'd move the stop loss to break even. I'd be out,
yeah,
and
yeah.
which is
But
fine.
then
So
you could
I
have,
made a
then
profit.
you could have moved your stop loss further up from break even as well. And when it came down, and it could have knocked you out there with a slight profit as well. You got to, it depends on what you want to do with it, because your hope, if there's any, is that this would continue up to outside the rail. So
Yeah.
why would you leave it only at break even? Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't
No,
you, if that's break even, wouldn't you push it, say if we started, it's done a short and push back up, wouldn't you move your stop loss to here, for example? And then when it come back down again, that would stop profit you with a little bit of profit, maybe. Because if it pulls down and then it's going to push back up to the rail, you want to be able to still be in that trade. But if it
Yeah.
does then pull back down on you, then you want to be able to either break even or at that sort of turn, have a little bit out of it. I'm just trying to, yeah, that is a good example, that one. All right. Your AUD. You see, this short wouldn't have saved you if you got in that short. It's pushed back and you got a long showing up now, flashing off and on. This would be like the JPY. Didn't even make it to 3/4.
I didn't think anywhere near 3/4 of that.
See, that in the end would be potentially a double loss. It's got to weigh it up, don't you? Okay. That's your AUD. And NZD will probably be similar, but we'll wait to get there. Euro CAD. John with the rails. So you would have been in from there. That would have been a 3/4, would have come back. That would have, yeah, that would have been a good trade there. You wouldn't have taken this because it didn't come outside the rail. And it's now dancing around here. Okay. That would have been a good trade. Short from there. That's back in November. Sell out, take a profit there at 3/4. It pulled back up again. You move your stop loss from entry down to here because then it took off again. And then when you get outside, you'd profit there, or you'd wait for a triangle. That would be back at the rail, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Euro CHF. I think your discussion on it's pretty good. All right. So what do we got here? We've got a triangle. It hasn't really come out of the rail much, but we do have a short. So you wouldn't take that trade, would you, Darren? I don't think you have.
No, no.
So this could push further up and give us another triangle for another, so a long to a short and then back down again.
Yeah.
All right. Euro GBP. Well, here's an example. There's a short. You'd be in the trade, right? Stop loss back up here. Where have we got? To a short. For example, you could be in the trade around there. Stop loss would be up here somewhere. If that's the rail, but you'd be at 3/4 there somewhere. Yeah, that's the first trade. And the second trade would be there as well, but the profit would be here or further out. Just depends, isn't it?
I mean,
Okay.
as price pushes down, it does push the rail further out, so your profit does improve.
Mm,
You know, your stop losses, you're moving your stop loss out quite often until eventually it reaches there. So, yeah, but maybe I'm overcomplicating it. Maybe just the 3/4 rule, the second position TP at
the rail.
the outer rail.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I mean,
All right.
it could push through overnight when I'm asleep, and then next day it's sucked back, and I've tried to be too clever and you know
Yeah. Oh, well,
give up the profit.
far beyond us being trying to be too clever, Darren. That's not what this is about. This is more of a relaxed, not having to be too clever. All right, Euro JPY was one. You don't trade that Euro GBP anyway, so okay. So you're still in this long here. It pushed up to 3/4. That would have been a good example, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And then pull back there. You know that'd be basically break even plus a little bit because that push back up, or even at there, you probably you could have had it where your stop losses moved back to here, and then it would have come back and profited you out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'll show you that. So if you've got a long position, say for example, here you would have got in about there, you'd have your stop loss down there. Cool, jingos, what happened here? Don't know what. Oh, there we go. You'd have that at 3/4, you'd profit that, and then you'd move your stop loss back up to, say, for example, then it pulls back down again here. That's still your entry, you're not knocked out. As it pulled back up, you'd move your it will stop loss back up to there. Does that make sense? And then
Yeah.
when it come back down, you'd be out. So, which is great because you don't want to be in the trade while it's fluffing around here.
Oh,
Really, all of this is just white noise. It's just crazy. I think one of the things we look for me, Darren, is like, how do we adapt the strategy for different market situations?
yeah.
Because if the strategy works with just one sort of like from rail to rail, but if it's not doing that and it's doing, how do we sort of minimize being in trades for a long period with no productive sort of
Yeah.
outcome to it?
Yeah.
Because there isn't any problem moving the stop loss up if the trend direction continues. But if the trend direction doesn't continue, it's better off getting out of it and waiting for the opportunity to get back in again at a better opportunity, rather than hoping that it's going to,
Yeah.
continue up.
Yeah.
All right, your NZD is that one. Like again, the same as AUD. See how it's sort of pulling back up again? And I'll wait for where's the rail? There. So you can see, oh, we don't have a short there, so you wouldn't have been in that trade anyway. Interesting. Okay. That's not, but from a long perspective, what have you got there? Yeah, well, that's a really good one, isn't it? Like, just think of so if we're talking about long position, getting there, stop loss down there potentially, and then 3/4 there, right? And then profit up there when you hit the rail. Pretty good. And then you're out of all of this stuff. All right. US Singapore. Rubbish. Euro USD. Right. You're in this, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, there's a good
Okay.
example as well.
3/4
you would have
mark.
been out. That then pulled back and pushed up. Would you put your stop, or would you wait for it to, do you know what I mean? Pull down past the midline? You'd still be in it with the second trade. Like for here, example.
Not a great trade, that one, because that long
No,
gap
no.
is so big.
Yeah. Because you
Yeah.
wouldn't have been in until somewhere
Yeah.
here, maybe.
So the
You
profit isn't great on this one anyway.
No,
See, that halfway point's not very much, is it?
no,
That
no.
3/4 point, I should say.
Mm. But at least it is a trade, but at least it is a profit. And then
Yes.
you could, whatever you want to do, you would, well, in that example, moving your second trade stop loss to break even, it
Yeah.
means that when it did come back there, you'd be out of the trade, and then you
Yeah.
wouldn't be in some of this craziness
No,
too.
no.
I mean, it's a good, I don't know, is it worth it looking at these like this? This is the
Yeah.
only way that I do it anyway. I'm saying,
Well,
well,
I'll look at these GBPs now. They're a really good example. This GBPAUD and NZD
yeah,
examples.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
was a really nice sell-off. Didn't make it, and now it's all on its way all the way back up again.
yeah.
So that would have been out
That
of the
would,
three-quarter mark. Stop loss
yeah,
at break even.
yeah. And it come back. So, and that's it. You would have been fine.
Yeah.
GCAD. Was that? Oh, no, that was a good one. That was sell out there, down, profit, profit. You would have had two there. That would have been fine.
Well, I'm in this one, so
You're in it
again,
for the long, yeah.
the
But you see,
first
it's already
position was
made it to
probably just
three quarter.
yeah. So
And you're in the second one, you come up to break even, which is probably here somewhere.
yeah. So stay in it while it's messing around and see if
Yeah.
it comes
And then
back
have a
or
TP up at the rail or when you get a
yeah.
triangle.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. No, that's good. I'm liking this thought at the moment. GBP CHF. I think it's in the rough yet. That's all right. GJ. What do we got there? Well, see, here's another example. Here, long in the trade, up three quarter, out of the trade, up, break even, back again, out. Like
Yeah.
that would have been, again, a bit of a savior.
Yeah.
Okay, GN. Yeah, this is you're talking about the GN and GN. Yeah, beautiful short back down three quarter back and then up it goes again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Savior on that one.
Yeah.
GBP. You would have had one profit and the other one would have been a break even.
Break
So
even. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Here you got the long. You would be in this one, GBP Singapore. This is a um, trade now. In the trade.
I
You might not
still don't
be.
think I've had a long on
Oh,
this
that's right. That's the one you
triangle.
don't
Yeah.
know if you got along. But you got the example here of even if you got into the trade now, right? You got there, you
Yeah.
got three quarter there. Well, it's still 1% on it, and you'd be in two trades because the other one you would then follow it through if it does.
Yeah.
And
No,
if it doesn't, and it comes up to three quarter or not, then you basically bring your trade up to the second one up to break even. Let's see how that goes. All right, GU, same, I think. We got, yeah, exactly the same. Hasn't got the three quarter yet.
no. So I'd still be in both positions on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just looking and seeing what are the possibilities. Mm. You still got the same rule for entry, and whether it's there or there,
Yeah.
it's okay. NZD CAD. See, this is
I
a really
never
late
never
long.
entered that one. Never entered that one.
No, because it probably didn't come out far enough, and
No.
also the long was nearly at the midline. It did make it to three quarter though.
Yeah. Just about. Yeah.
Hmm. Into DCHF. Again, the longs away, fair way up here. Not worth it. NZDJPY. This would have been a crazy mess as well. Yeah. AUDJPY and NZDJPY would be acting very similar. NU. Okay. Oh, this one's a messy little, hasn't made three quarter, but you've got your long out of there. But you see, you would be entering somewhere around the midline again.
Yeah.
Right, Singapore JPY.
Yeah, good example. I mean, I'm still in this.
Yeah.
Still in it, but um,
This would have been a great example of it. So if you're again for a long on that, say for example, you got in somewhere there, have your stop loss. Oh, your stop loss down there, 3/4 profit, bang, second trade back there. Oh, hang on a minute, where are we? No, you'd still be in the trade
will be in it. Yeah,
because your stop loss would be at break even here. And
yeah,
it come back down, but didn't stop you out, and now it's up there.
yeah,
Maybe on the second trade you go, like, I'll put my profit at 3/4 again.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just a thought. Anyway, what I'm trying to do also with this, Darren, is to not be in trades for long periods of time without any productive outcome to them.
Yeah.
Like that's if they're still moving in the direction, great. But if they're just like chopping and changing, like why be in them? It's just a trade that anyway. Right, UCAD, we saw that one. That's still, yeah, we got the short, but never got into that. USD CHF. Again, there's a short, but it's pulled back up again. Do you get in that or not? That's the thought. I'd be waiting for it to, yeah. All right, UJ, same thing here. Oh, that has pushed down further, but it hasn't been out the rail, so you wouldn't have taken that trade. It's only that one or that one there, or even that one. Yeah, the start of this year has really just given this sort of inside the rail effect, hasn't it? They've been too scared to push the price up more or push it back down more, particularly with JPYs. USD Singapore. Yeah, see that's a good example. 3/4. That's another good trade.
Yeah.
Short on. But the point is
I
you
think
wouldn't
so.
have got the trade till the midline. So it's not a big anyway.
Well, when I'm still in that one, I've still got full 1% in the risk in that one. But yeah, I'd have some profit in the bank. That's for sure.
Mm, mm,
With the second position still running. So
yeah. All right. And gold is still pushing up. It's making a new high, 2.7. That's all right, good. And silver is, oh wow, look at the jump on silver too. Full Bitcoin up to 105. Lovely. And what the oil doing? And it's still hovering. Yeah, no. It's not doing much. And then the last go, it's come to that midline. Look at it.
yeah.
Okay, well done. Well,
So yeah, I'm going to implement that. I think from
yeah, same.
now
I'm going
on.
to give it a trial too. We'll talk about who, what, when, where, and how. Okay.
Yeah, start of a new month. We'll do this.
It does come back down to the fact that not all of them can be winners. Like for example, that AJ or so. Um, but at least now, if you're taking a trade, it's rather than just the one and you're just waiting for the rail and it never make it there. The different market situations, you might be able to capture at least one trade or profit out of it and another one for an extension. So or not, or it come back and be break even and you're not having to be in something for a period of time that's not profitable. All right. Well, get ready. I'm back on the buses today.
Yep.
Uh, and then Monday, the weekend's 37, 37, Monday's
Yeah.
39, Tuesday 39.
Yeah.
We've
Um,
got a real run of hot weather coming up, so
yeah.
not going to be nice. But anyway,
Bit of frost
Oh,
this morning here to scrape the, scraping the windscreen and that sort of thing.
scraping the ice off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm waiting for that time, please. Give us a bit of rain.
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully get it back around. All right then. Well,
Okay.
we'll see how we go when market open. It'll be February, and maybe we won't. There won't necessarily be trades at that point. We'll see.